So I know that Love is Rage 2 obviously came out 3 years ago, probably closer to 4 now. You see, the thing is, I've never watched this Fantano album review on Love is Rage 3 by Uzi. I know for a fact he gave it a low score. I remember my friends telling me he gave it a low score, and he's wearing a red flannel, which usually sets the tone for his video. But I never watched the video, and I never got to butt in with my 2 cents because I am an Uzi fan to the core. I think Uzi is the hottest rapper of our generation, the hottest rapper out right now. That's my opinion, but I'm willing to back it up if needed in the comments. But anyway, I haven't seen this. I want to see. This isn't really to like prove Fantano wrong because obviously Love is Rage 3 is a classic. It still gets talked about today. But it's more to like argue against everything he says, but maybe agree with some of the stuff he says, depending on the score, because I don't know the score yet. I'm willing to bet it's a 1 to 4. I don't think it got any higher than a 4. But we're just gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna just peep in and give my thoughts from time to time. So yeah, let's go.
Hi everyone, freshly poured lean here, the internet.
I like his intros too. Sorry, I like that.
Nerd. And it's time for a review of the new Lil Uzi Vert album, Love is Rage 2. Lil Uzi Vert is a Philly rap sensation. He's been making...
So next time I'll probably react to these a bit sooner because I'm about 3 or 4 years late. I just got into Fantano pretty recently and I'm on and off. So.
For the past few years,
it is what it is.
Very viral, very hot singles.
I have seen his Eternal Take One though, which he gave like a 4. So. So if he gave Eternal Take a 4, then I feel like maybe this could be a 5 possibly, but that I don't feel like that's low enough for the red flannel.
Sadly, his style has never really clicked with me, and it's not for lack of originality. I mean, amongst the current crop of rap crooners doing their thing over very glitzy, melodic trap beats, Uzi definitely has a weirdly nasal, like,
he's already not gonna like it.
Kind of strained timbre to it. I think,
but that's why it's good.
There's a certain moodiness to his music as well that sort of sets him apart from a Thugger or a Future or whatever.
Sounds good so far.
However, there's not a whole lot of depth to what Uzi does. I appreciate that his music is simultaneously like blissful, sad, spacey, but his lyrics are about the equivalent of taking a package of Oreos, blending them up into crumbles, throwing them into a cereal bowl, pouring a quart of milk on top of that, and just...
His metaphors, bro. Uzi is more lyrical than most people give him credit for. On Love is Rage 3, it's probably one of his kind of less lyrical albums, but like I can pull up lyrics on that album, like The Way Life Goes, the way he rhymes stuff. I'll pull up some lyrics. I mean, he's not as lyrical on Love is Rage 2. I don't know if I said 3. He's not as lyrical on Love is Rage 2, but he's still got some good lyrics on that album.
This album or project is really more like a retail mixtape. It's the long-awaited follow-up.
That's not true, man. That's not true. It's a lot more polished than any of his other mixtapes. A lot more polished.
However, I wouldn't just simply call it a rehash. I mean, there are some notable improvements here. The production is more detailed. Uzi Vert, his vocal recording is better. All around, just the sound of this thing is cleaner. The fidelity is higher.
So
also, I think Uzi comes off a bit more versatile on the vocal side. But every time he steps out of his, like, strained, yelpy tone, he kind of sounds like someone else. There were cuts on here where he had these weird vocalizations that kind of reminded me of Thugger, or he would go really deep and he'd remind me of like one of the Migos. And the song 4 plus 222 sounds like an unreleased Designer song. Like I was checking the lyrics on this album to make sure that there weren't more features on this thing.
Personally, I don't think 444 plus 222 sounds like Designer at all. Maybe because of like the repetitive lyrics, but like every rapper is doing repetitive lyrics or has done them, so I mean you can't hate on him for that.
And in fact, that was not the case. Uzi is just kind of jumping around with these really weird inflections all over this project, and either intentionally or unintentionally, just like for mere seconds, like channeling other rappers. Still as annoying.
I need some examples. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't think I.
Variety across the album. It sort of allows him to I guess, sort of keep the project or keep the sound of these songs from becoming redundant without him bringing a bunch of features into the fold. Still, the fact remains there's not
There's only 2 features on that, plus A Wonder.
Sure, the Sting and Uzi's sound are fine for like a handful of tracks, especially the cuts that have a more coherent and visceral groove, like early 20 Rager or 444 plus 222. Oddly enough, the song EXO Tour Life is a single that kind of grew on me with time. It easily has the best vocal melody and best hook.
EXO Tour Life is literally my favorite song of all time in terms of rap, but pretty much all time too, so yeah.
I think Uzi has ever weaved into a track. Push me to the edge. I can see why the emo bands are loving this song. Still, the verses are loaded with these.
This was so long ago, bro. I forgot. EXO Tour Life had been out for maybe like 6 months, and now it's been like 4 years, man.
Listen, lyrics,
crazy
vocalizations that a lot of the time, despite the dark vibe of the track, sound more hilarious than serious. And that's the thing. Who wants to hear this dude hit your eardrums with like these auto-tuned bleats for an hour? And yeah,
like, I'm telling you, Uzi, I'm not insane. Uzi is not vocally talented. Most rappers aren't. Some exceptions, Rod Wave, YNW and Melly, and I'm forgetting people. But you either like it, or it's like a big thing with mumble rap. Like, you either like the way they auto-tune and come off of it, or you don't. Like, yeah, his voice is nasally, and he's auto-tuning, and he's pitched up, but like, it's good. It's just a vibe. Like, if you don't like the nasally auto-tune, you're not gonna like Uzi. You're not gonna like other rappers out right now. But it's a hit or miss. So that's just his opinion. I can't like say anything about that.
I don't care that the production is mostly decent. I don't care that The Weeknd essentially flies in to save us with some decent singing for a track. I don't care that the Pharrell appearance is pretty cool, and I don't care that occasionally Lil Uzi Vert, his lack of decent lyricism sort of drives him into a direction where he somehow comes up with something kind of quirky and like really weird, like Neon Guts.
So he just named off like a bunch of really good things about the album, but there's one thing that's bringing down his whole experience for the album, and it's probably his voice.
This is just another mixtape masquerading or being sold as an album where an artist essentially just throws the same shit at a wall.
The thing is, though, it's not. This is 2017 Uzi, and I know time has like proven this, but I would have said the exact same thing had this video just came out. Like, it's not. This is around when like Britney broke up with him, which was his girlfriend throughout the first mixtape. So he went more into like his heart, his soul. I'm sounding like cringy, but like he's rapping more about love and like heartbreak and stuff like that. Like on X, on Malfunction. He's getting more emo around this time. He's turning from the purple-haired, upbeat, do what I want Uzi, to the money longer Uzi, more to the like dark queen Uzi, to the emo Uzi. Like, this is, you can't just say this is another mixtape and this is the same. He's doing the same thing over and over again, because he's not on this album. Like, this album is a transition from the 2016 purple-haired, really hyped, really like upbeat, happy Uzi, breakup, drops this basically a heartbreak album if you really think about it. And it's like, I don't think it's different at all. I've listened to Love Is Rage, I've listened to the Perfect Love tape, I've listened to everything, Versus the World. I've listened to all those, and this to me sounds the most different out of all of them, this album specifically. So I don't know if Fantano just hears like the nasally singing and just like repeats that, you know, and like hears it again over there and puts it together. But I think the subject matter is different. And I think that like it's a different topics. Now, yeah, you're still gonna get like the same type of bars and the same type of, you know, rapping about watches or whatever. But like, if you go in depth and you look at the songs overall, I think they do more and they're deeper than a lot of what he put out before. And it's not like he didn't put in effort on the thing. That's the thing. Like, if he would have made the album in like 3 days and would have been like, all right, here you go, it would have been one thing. But like, you can tell he took his time. He tried. So.
For an hour,
and it paid off too.
And while Uzi's
so I disagree with
really
that.
That deep or significant, that's not the worst thing about them. They're not really funny or clever or memorable or sticky either. They're just kind of bland, generic.
They're not really supposed to be funny just because of the tone of the album. And then I mean the rest of it, like personally, I feel different about it. But
vaguely emotional.
If you go into Uzi thinking you're gonna get like Wayne bars, you just need to stop. You just need to turn it off right there. That's the thing.
About texts and relationships and breaking up, all of which is kind of embellished with a lot of very dime a dozen, like.
The thing is, he hasn't been rapping about this till this point. That's the thing. So it's new for us.
Trap style rap brags. Just like you would get sick to your stomach if you binged on like 2 pounds of Sour Patch Kids, I felt almost like I was getting a stomach ache, but in my fucking brain. Like what I was listening to was so
That's pretty funny
and stupid that I was becoming dumber the more that I listened to it.
Not true, bro.
DiCaprio. Heard you talk to a ball player. Heard you talk to a ball player. The songs on this thing vary between being tolerable and completely obnoxious, and what few highlights there are in the track listing here are kind of outshined by the fact that there is so much mediocre material on this thing that shares so much in common with the best tracks. But hey,
all I'm saying is that's an opinion. No misses. There are no misses on this album. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, if you go into the album, there are no misses. There are average songs, but there are no misses. I promise you. I promise you.
If you're looking for a continually trippy trap tape with Uzi Vert playing a vocal shapeshifter with a series of very tedious melodies.
See, like you call him a vocal shapeshifter, and you don't like how he's like doing random stuff. But then if he didn't, you would say it like sounded the same, and it was boring the whole way throughout. That's just
over some melodic trap instrumentation. I will not stop you. Go for it. I'm proud of you. You're the best.
Why does he hate him so much, bro? He listens to Thug. Decent 3. Decent 3. So I said he probably gave it like, I was thinking he would have given it a 5, but that was too high from what I had heard. So decent 3. Like, obviously this album's way higher than that, and time's proven that. I mean, looking at the dislikes, that's the dislike to like ratio, which isn't crazy, but I mean, still pretty abnormal. But, so look, I'm not trying to say that Uzi is the greatest rapper of all time. I'm not trying to say that Uzi is super, super talented, like Freddie Mercury talented or anything like that. I just think that when you're looking at new rappers today, and when you're looking for like consistency and lyricism and melody, and you want all those in one person, I think Uzi can deliver it. He drops amazing features, which isn't really the point of the video. The point of the video is on a specific album, which I'll get to in a second. But I just think Uzi has something that a lot of these rappers think they have, but they really don't. So anyway, with Uzi, with this album, that's a really bad still of Fantano. But anyway, so with this album, like when I first listened to it, I thought it was really good. Like I could tell it was gonna be good, but I didn't like love it. I just knew it was like good. I kept listening to it a second time, listened to it a third time, and it like reached its peak for me. I mean, I used to listen to this album so many times. There's literally not really not a bad song on it. And to prove kind of what Fantano's saying, or maybe what he's not saying about the whole randomness, I will put up like the track list with like type of song they are, if that makes sense. And there are just, the thing about the album is you can go from like a really hyped up song like 444-222 or For Real, and you can go straight into like The Way Life Goes and Dark Queen. And sometimes like the people don't like going through that transition. They think it's weird, but like that just shows versatility to me, and he does it well. Like again, if you don't like Uzi's voice, you're not gonna like the album, but he does it well, and it is well done, and it is new and different from his past ones. So anyway, I'm recording this in 2021, so it's been so long. I really need to get on this and do stuff like this earlier. I'm really new to YouTube though, in terms of doing stuff like this, so I will get better at it. But yeah, that's all I got for this video, and see you on the next one. Peace.